Paradise, Louisiana, with Gary Risponi and Don Dubuc. Paradise, Louisiana would also like to thank these sponsors.
Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, Cracker Barrel Convenience Stores. We have more than you expect. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana, Farm Bureau Insurance, Louisiana Fish Fry Products, Demco, First South Farm Credit, Area Wholesale Tire Company, with tire programs for tire dealers.
Welcome to this week's edition of Paradise, Louisiana. Last year was all turkey. This year we got fish, and turkey.
We got rodeo season coming up, and of course the big star. We got a special guest coming to join us, Rad Trascher from CCA. Will be on to explain what's different and what's the same about this year's tournament. Also, Sid Sarentine's going to join us. Very active guy with a very popular big rodeo, Swollfest.
Coming back. It started and it just blew up, and it was a great rodeo.
Speaking of rodeos, Black and Gold, Alumni Rodeo.
Oh, man, that's right. That's where I was. I would say the 4 days down there, so much fun. You know, and being a sports junkie like I am, and I love it. I know you follow baseball, LSU, and the Saints. Just to see how agile some of these guys are still are in their 60s. You know, and they meet some of the old coaches. So we spent 3 or 4 days down there with all the Saints alumni and all the people that are doing it. And Stan Brock did a tremendous job. So we'll bring some of that. We got some of this, the fun shoot, the skeet shoot, the crazy quail. We got a whole lot of stuff, and we got Tommy catching a lot of fish. When I'm talking about Tommy, I'm talking about, you see the reports, Tommy Vidrine going on that. And then we're going to give you a tease in another couple of weeks. We're going to show you where Tommy put me on fish and broke the black cloud. You know, and I caught the 2 biggest fish. And Don, you got a good segment on the turkeys. Now,
yeah, back from Kansas. We made a hunt up there. Not only was it a successful hunt, but it was a real learning experience for me. Have hunted Kansas before for other species. First time hunting turkeys, and took us a while to figure it out, but we got them. We'll show you that and a whole lot more coming up right here on Paradise, Louisiana.
When you're ready to really enjoy life at a slower pace, become a landowner. First South Farm Credit specializes in financing and refinancing land, but not just for farmers. They offer loans to purchase timberland, hunting and fishing, or recreational property. Their experience in land, timber, and loans set them apart from standard lending institutions. Contact a First South Farm Credit loan officer for more information. First South Farm Credit, a specialized rural land investment lender helping you realize your dream.
As members of a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we've all got a job to do. And the more we work together, the more we save. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
These engines run for thousands of hours to prove.
With 20% more cleaning agents than before, Shell nitrogen-enriched gasoline.
Oh, the gasoline protects your engine better!
Awkward. Try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines.
No other gasoline protects your engine better.
Visit Cracker Barrel convenience stores before heading fishing or hunting. We have more than you expect.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. And Gary, I got to go make a hunt in Kansas, really one of my favorite places to visit, to do some pheasant hunting and some duck and goose hunting. We had a great trip.
One of your favorite guys, too.
Carl Byer. Yeah, Carl, just a great guy to be around. He's a dog guy. He's kind of a guy who likes to hunt. If it flies, it's a bird. Carl is likely to be after it. And we decided, after a real tough season both of us had here in Louisiana, we were going to head up to Kansas. The numbers don't lie. Wild Turkey Federation released some numbers that Louisiana, we have 60,000 turkeys in our population. Kansas has 360,000 turkeys. We had seen them up there doing our winter trips and kind of maybe said, well, maybe we'll get a chance to come back and do it. We decided to go ahead and do it. Irish Creek Outfitters. Steve Westfall is the guy that operates the place. He's got a nice lodge up there. He's not a professional guide. You pretty much do a self-guided trip, but he does assist you in showing you where to go, what's there. He kind of keeps an eye on it all during the season.
That's a question, though. You giving them numbers out. Is that historically Kansas and Nebraska and do you got way more turkeys, or is it management? Is it going back to management or the way they manage their turkeys?
I think it fits hand in hand with what's happening agriculturally. There's just so much more feed. There's so many wheat fields and alfalfa. There's a lot of food for them. And you got less hunters, too, less population. I think historically there's been good turkey populations out in states like Oklahoma, Missouri. You saw what went on up there. Texas, and, of course, Kansas is really one of the most underrated places for hunting turkey. It's a lot different than hunting here. We learned that. You're not going to go up there and play run and gun. You really can't. There's not a lot of places for turkeys to hide. They have to be in the open because they've got narrow wood lines. Same thing for deer. The rest of the time, it's pretty much open fields. But the same thing is true. You don't have a lot of place to hide. So it's a lot of waiting game. It's a lot of patience. It's a lot of being quiet. One real problem we had was wind. Those out west areas, that wind comes across there, there's nothing really to block it or break it up. For 2 days, we hunted in about a 30-mile-an-hour wind, which the turkeys can't hear you, you can't hear the turkeys. We finally decided to do a little bit of trying to spot them and set up on them, which worked out. Carl was the first one to score. By the way, in Kansas during the spring season, if you get what's called a game tag, that's one turkey, then there's also a permit. So you're allowed 2 spring turkeys. This is gobblers. They have no minimum restriction on the beard. And they have a totally different attitude towards the turkey than we do. We lionize wild turkeys in the Gulf South, Mississippi, Alabama. Every one is a real trophy. To them, it's another bird. They can kill 6. They can kill 4 in the winter. They shoot hens. They shoot jakes. There's no shame in it. They're glad to have them. And you can actually have feeders out there. Can you imagine here in Louisiana drawing turkeys to a feeder and hunting them?
No,
ain't going to happen. You're not going to kill a hen here either.
You're going to lose your license.
Exactly.
You're going to lose your gun. You do it all.
Anyway, the second day, the final day, the wind finally stopped blowing on us, and everything went out. We saw ducks move, geese, deer, and the turkeys became real active. I shot my first turkey on the last day there, at about 7:15 in the morning. Came into the decoys, called it typical turkey-style fashion, the way you'd like to see a hunt set up. And then about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half later, another one came up. Now, this one I spotted. He answered my call at 400 yards away. He went into his fan and proceeded to come down that hill all the way right into the decoys.
Turkey trot.
And he was tough. It took 3 shots to get him down. And I'm talking about some good, well-placed shots. He was just a tough bird. Carl had got his second bird hunting that same morning, so we got 3 that same morning. By the way, you can kill more than 1 turkey in a day. You got your tags. You can shoot them both at the same time if you're fortunate enough to do that.
You don't think maybe turkeys in Kansas are going to be like snow geese in Louisiana?
I
Get to be a nuisance, huh?
I don't think it's going to get
Maybe when people find out, like that turkey you fried with Louisiana fish fry, when they find out how good fried turkey is besides, in the oven, maybe more Louisiana people go up to Kansas, go to the outfitters. Maybe that population might drop a little bit.
It very well likely could. He had to give you the numbers. He had 25 hunters at his place, 23 killed turkeys. The only 2 that didn't were a couple of guys from Mississippi, young guys who said, we're running gun hunters. Is that all the woods you got? I mean, you can walk all of the woods in one day, which they did. But naturally, you're not going to see the turkeys, and they left discouraged. But if you give it time and you put your time in and you exercise your patience and you set up, you got a real good chance of bagging a turkey. And we'll put the information on the screen if you want to contact Steve for this coming winter or perhaps next spring. It's a good option to hunting turkeys in Louisiana.
Maybe those guys might have had a couple of those guys from Mississippi there. Like me, we couldn't be quiet enough. Boy, I would hate to have fun in Kansas if I can't be quiet in the woods or be about to hide in the woods.
All right, we'll be back with more. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Ask me about my Tempur-Pedic.
Ask me how fast I fall asleep.
Why not talk to someone who's sleeping on the most highly recommended bed in America?
Ask me about staying asleep.
Tempur-Pedic owners are more satisfied than owners of any traditional mattress brand.
Ask me how it feels after 10 years.
Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America.
Ask about Tempur-Pedic at Olin's, where you know you always get the guaranteed low price. Olin's is the only store in Baton Rouge and Lafayette with the full line of Tempur-Pedics.
Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change has been keeping cars and trucks in Baton Rouge clean and running smooth for over 50 years. At Benny's, we feature professional car washing, complete detailing, high-tech waxing and buffing, interior cleaning, and tire shine. Benny's, one stop for car maintenance with complete oil and lube services and even state inspections at our express locations. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations, including our newest store on Greenwell Springs Road. And don't forget to stop by Be Quick Convenience Store and Fuel Stop. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Drive in dirty, drive out clean.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. Big, huge, tremendous Memorial Day weekend ahead, and highlighting the list of activities, the S.T.A.R Rodeo. Rad Trascher joins us from CCA to talk about it. Rad, how's it going?
Good. This will be the 20th year, and as always, we start on Memorial Day Saturday, and we want to give away $500,000 in prizes. So it is time to get entered and get on the water. Thank goodness the wind has quit blowing, I think.
Well, the signature species or category, of course, is the redfish. Got all those little reds tagged and ready to go?
As this show will air, yes, they will all be in the water. We are about 90% done. We also got held off with the wind, but there are tagged redfish all over the state, on the coast. One good thing to do is check us out on Facebook. Take a look at the pictures. There are a lot of things you will see in the background. I know I put a picture of Sand Dollar Marina and a fish going in. I put a picture of lots of other places around the state. Take a look. Even if you have to zoom in a little bit, you will figure out where you are.
Well, after 20 years, most people are pretty familiar with it, but if you could kind of run down the categories, and in particular talk about how you're handling the red snapper season, because we just got the official dates on that.
We'd like to say, Don, that we have something for everybody. We have kids divisions, ladies divisions, trout, flounder, speckled, sheep's head, you name it, we've got it. But we also have the offshore division, which has mangrove snapper, red snapper, cobia, and dorado. Now, red snapper, one rule change like we did last year, you will have to follow the federal season, which is only 9 days, so let the frenzy begin on June 1st. We will have a winner on June 9th. That is one of those things we wanted to make sure everybody had the same fishing opportunity. We know there's some people in the state waters that can fish a little longer than others, but you've got 9 days of the federal season to run with it. And then most importantly, one of the things we always talk about is the kids division. If you want to win something in the S.T.A.R tournament, get your kid, your grandkid in. All they have to do is be a member of CCA, which is $10 a year, and then it is free for them to fish the tournament. And all they have to do is catch a trout or a flounder over 14 inches. They can bring it to one of the 35 weigh stations, or they can take a picture of the fish on a ruler with the kid in the background and email it directly to me. We put them in the hopper, and we're going to draw for one of 5 boats.
Well, the snapper category will end quickly as soon as the federal season ends. What about the closing for the rest of them? How long do you have to get the fish weighed?
You have till Labor Day, Monday at Labor Day at 5 o'clock. So you've got 101 days of fishing. Even if you're going to only fish once or twice during the summer, it's still worth it. It's worth it to get in. But, you know, with 100 days, you never know what's going to happen. Never think that something is locked up. Even if you see that big trout or that big cobia come in the first couple weeks, we've had lots of strange things happen.
Well, everybody knows that each and every year somebody catches a tagged redfish. In a lot of cases, they're not signed up, which means no cigar.
Oh, and that's happened a lot, and I won't admit it. But you know, to get it started, I just come from Grand Isle, from the east all the way to the west, the Timberlier, the rocks at Fouchon, or the barges at Fouchon. Speckled trout have turned on everywhere, and a lot of, remember one year y'all had a tremendous amount of big sheephead turned in. But they had some big sheephead coming in this week too. So it's got everything for everybody.
It's got something for everybody. Whether you're a kayaker, you're in a regular boat, you're a fly fisherman, we've got divisions of all of that. Check out CCAStar.com. But, you know, talking about Grand Isle, I was down there last weekend releasing fish, and everybody wonders where we're going to put them. We catch them in the back marsh just because it's easier to redfish back there. But then we take them out to the hottest trout spots around and put them. You look at last year's winners came from the Bell Pass Rocks, Caminada Pass Rocks, Chef Pass Rocks. Anybody seeing a theme here? The rock jetties at Big Lake. Those are where we're putting those redfish. So get out.
You're putting them where food is, and that's what always attracts me. But those fish, there's so much bait right now at all these rocks, and the wave action keeps them. And that congregates the fishing.
Oh, yeah, and it congregates the fishermen, and that's what we want to do. We want these things caught. We had 9 caught last year, 4 by registered anglers. Don't be one of those 5 guys that didn't win. You don't want to taste a $30,000 fish.
All right, Rad, there's several ways to get signed up. It is open for members only, so talk about the membership and then how do you get your ticket?
Membership is $25 a year for a regular adult, $10 for a youth, and $15 for a spouse or significant other in the same household. This is structured as a membership drive, so we want you to be a member to fish the S.T.A.R tournament, but then it is $25 to fish the tournament. So for a typical adult, it's $50 all in, all done for 101 days of fishing. The easiest way is go to CCA.STAR.com. You can see all the divisions, weigh stations, you name it, online. Or you can call our hotline at 877-422-2782, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And the places they fish out of will have applications.
Absolutely. All the weigh stations, check us out online. They will all have memberships. You can go to any Academy Sports and Outdoors location. But one thing I want to mention is we've got a bunch of tournaments coming up, Swollfest and the Grand Isle Speckled Trout Rodeo and all the other rodeos going on during the summer. Make sure if you're entered in S.T.A.R, go ahead and weigh your fish for S.T.A.R, then weigh it for those rodeos, because some of those rodeos will take possession of your fish, like Tarpon Rodeo does. We have no problem with the same fish competing in S.T.A.R and in one of the other rodeos. So like I said, if you're down at Sand Dollar for Swollfest, first week of June, walk in Sand Dollar, get it registered for S.T.A.R, then walk over to the Swollfest scales.
Great tip. Also, another tip, too, you can monitor the divisions as this tournament progresses online.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people like to pick the targets of opportunity. How often will you be updating that website?
We guarantee every Tuesday morning that the website will be updated. That way we get all the information from over the weekend. But I will tell you, we do update it a lot more often than that, is because a lot of marinas send in the weigh forms as soon as they weigh the fish. Also, check us out on Facebook. As soon as we get a difference in a leaderboard change, we put it on Facebook. So you will know as quick as we know who's leading a certain division.
All right, very good. Sign up, the S.T.A.R. It's our longest. It goes from Memorial Day all the way to Labor Day weekend. Don't be one of those folks catching that tagged redfish without signing up first. You can't do it afterwards, as a lot of people have found out the hard way. All right, we'll be back to talk about some more of the smaller rodeos taking place in Louisiana, right here on Paradise, Louisiana.
As sure as the sun rises over the Gulf waters, the excitement builds for the 20th year as the 2014 CCA Louisiana S.T.A.R Fishing Tournament is upon us.
Me and some of my friends signed up last year, and believe it or not, I actually won.
Over 101 days of fishing, with over 25 inshore and offshore divisions, like the Youth Division, Speckled Trout Division, and don't forget, the Tagged Redfish Division, where the first to catch a tagged redfish wins a new Chevy Silverado. Registered at CCASTAR.com. Share in the passion, conserve our coast.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana, and it is officially rodeo season in South Louisiana. Of course, we talked with Rad Trascher. We're kicking off the S.T.A.R tournament, the biggest, the longest, the richest. This weekend also at Bridgeside Marina, Grand Isle Speckled Trout Rodeo, where the Louisiana Master Trout Angler will be declared. But the following weekend, June 5th through 7th, we've got a lot of rodeos, Gary.
Well, starting off first, we got a new one. Redemptor's finally jumped in there with all the other high schools. They got their inaugural Alumni Rodeo. It'd be at Fuson Marina. Morans. They're all excited about it. They're signing people up. You know, we'll run on the screen. You'll see the flyer. You can sign up for it. You can even go the night before the captain's meeting. They're trying to emulate what y'all do at Rommel and everywhere else, you know, what goes on with Catholic Eye Rodeo also coming up. Then, you know, they got the 10th annual fishing rodeo. They call it the Cutoff Fishing Club puts on. It's going to be at Bridgeside Marina at the same time as what goes on at the other end of the island. So it was a great time to go down to Bayou Lafourche, go to Jefferson Parish. It's great tournaments going on right now. The weather's been great. The fishing's turning on. And with me is Mr. Sid Saratine. Saratine or Saratine?
Saratine.
All right. Mr. Sid, you're on the board of the directors for the Swollfest. Nick Roberts running everywhere. That's your stepson.
Yep.
That committee, it really blew this thing up out of sight. So, and then you even got some new things coming up.
Yeah, we do.
On the same weekend, everything is going on the island. Like I said before, it'd be a great time to be there.
Oh, yeah. But the new things coming up, I mean, we you know, Swollfest has become a very, very family-oriented rodeo. And we want to have a lot of fun. That makes it, you know, what's fun in fundraising, because that's what we're all about.
That's
we're
right.
100% volunteers and 501c3 nonprofit. And everything goes to help our causes. And our main causes are muscular dystrophy, American Diabetes Association, Swollfest Outdoor Wish, where we take people hunting and fishing with special needs and so forth, and also Cancer Services and Grand Isle School, plus some others foundations that we donate money to. But in with having fun, you know, Swollfest has grown, and last year, Southside Cafe and Grill came on board and took over the preparing food. So this is not regular food that you get at a lot of rodeos where you get hot dogs and hamburgers or maybe some red beans and rice. But this year on Friday, they're blackened fish tacos with Cajun caviar, which is beans, vegetables, chilled, with a touch of cilantro. And then Brookman's famous jambalaya. He'll be down there doing his jambalaya on Friday again. On Saturday night, they're doing chicken delacroix. Don't have the recipe because I
better
can't
believe
tell
it's
you
going
exactly
to be
what.
seafood. It got to be crab meat, Donna. Crab meat, shrimp, and that chicken.
I'm sure they got something delicious because
they got a seafood
Chris
chicken?
Legrand's out the box with what he wants to do, and they're also going to have some crawfish boiled pasta and salad and desserts. We have bands. We have bands on Friday night from 5 to 8. Seabrook Band from 8:30 to 11 p.m. Yeti Buford Band, and then on Saturday you got Tom Play playing from 4:30 to 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. until Allman Brothers Band on the pier.
Well,
and
you know,
party goes on.
Party goes on. I would say both ends of the island. Now don't forget they're cut off on the other side. They also got bands. If you get stuck on one end, you're fishing on fish early in the morning. You can go to both sides of the island, but be sure and register.
Yeah.
Before time. Right. You can weigh your fishing. If you register, you can weigh them in at all the rodeos.
And your registration is $60 for adults, and kids 12 and under, it's $15. Now, Swollfest does offer a package for $100. You get your entry, your commemorative embroidered fishing shirt, and one of the Swollfest posters. This is a sample of the poster this year, and done by Michael Guidry, who's a great artist and painted that beautiful red snapper with the bubbles coming out of his mouth. But also, you were there last year, Gary, and you witnessed the
giving away.
The inspirational award that we present to somebody each year, and this year's going to blow it out the box. It's really going to be spectacular.
I know y'all had a hunting trip into West Texas.
Yep.
And by the way, West Texas is going to be the event place for Dr. Roberts getting married.
Yep.
Coach Monera's daughter. A lot of going to be going on
so right after
baseball.
Swollfest, we'll be heading to West Texas for a wedding.
Oh, yeah, but we'll make sure it's after the World Series, too. The LSU goes back.
Absolutely. We're hoping we're going to be making that trip.
All right, very good.
Well, like I'm going to tell you, either end of the island, I've been there. It's festival atmosphere at both places, especially at Swollfest. I was there the last couple of years, and they got booths. They get people selling T-shirts. It's almost like a little expo right there. The whole island's going to be alive. And Donnie, giving them dates again. That's June 5th, 6th, and 7th. No other better place to be in Fourchon and Grand Isle area.
And, of course, don't forget we got the Redemptress Alumni Rodeo, Rummel Rodeo taking place in Metairie. The cutoff we talked about at Bridgeside Marina, and the Big Oil Man by invitation only. That's another one. So you're not going to have a problem finding the rodeo if you want to fish. Swollfest, one of the biggest, one of the best, taking place on the west end of the island, east end. We got one going on over at the you're on the east side, right?
Yeah,
you're on the east side. Get my
going,
east and
going
west
further
mixed up.
south on Grand Isle, you have
You'll be in water.
Your hat will float.
All right, going to be a lot of fun. Fish rodeos. It's a great way
Yeah.
to get out. If you're going to be fishing, get yourself a ticket. It's a real bargain for what you get for it for you and your family. We'll be right back with more. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change has been keeping cars and trucks in Baton Rouge clean and running smooth for over 50 years. At Benny's, we feature professional car washing, complete detailing, high-tech waxing and buffing, interior cleaning, and tire shine. Benny's, one stop for car maintenance with complete oil and lube services and even state inspections at our express locations. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations, including our newest store on Greenwell Springs Road. And don't forget to stop by Be Quick Convenience Store and Fuel Stop. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Drive in dirty, drive out clean.
Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood. Because we're based in Louisiana, with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Come to the family-owned and operated Cassius Casino in Port Allen today, where the Vegas-style video poker machines are ready for your entertainment. Cassius Casino is the finest, cleanest, classiest casino around. And Cassius 50-style diner is now serving seafood daily, along with your favorite home-cooked specials 24/7. Hey, Cassius is fun. Cassius is exciting. So come to the unsinkable Cassius Casino in Port Allen. Over the river 2 miles west of exit 151.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana, and boy, this is definitely the rodeo season, and had a big one we covered this past weekend, the Black and Gold Alumni Fishing Classic put on by Stan Brock, Hokie Gajan, Bobby Hebert, Morton Anderson, and a whole list of others. Had the opportunity to do my radio show live from the Bridgeside Marina, right there doing the action, and you spent the weekend down there with those guys.
Oh, I spent the weekend out there, and I happened to watch you that morning. It was amazing. You were interviewing some of the coaches, the former coaches, and you know, Don, to be there to be a junkie, you got to be careful. You know, you really got to be you better be careful, because you pay too much attention. And then me, when I can't hear, you know, I'm trying to get these guys' names and trying to remember. So I went through, and most of the guys I got the guys saying their names and what team they played for. Some of them played for multiple teams. Right, you know, right. Some of them might have played for 3 or 4 professional teams, but at one time they were Saints, are very good friends with Stan Brock. Stan does such a tremendous job putting all these together, and this is a fundraiser. You know, a long time ago it was with Children's Hospital, but the last few years it's been for the Green Beret Foundation and the Navy SEAL Foundation, and they give them a lot of money. It's a lot of former servicemen there. In fact, some of the sponsors and the guests are former servicemen. We had our cameraman, Jason Lemoyne, got to fish with a brigadier general retired. Brigadier General, I'm going to say his name is a little bit different the way he's looked at it. His name is Frutiger. Now, I said Frutiger because I said it wrong. I said, no, wait a second. I spelled it F-R-U-T. It's Frutiger. And you had Coach Lever there, backfield coach. They coach hockey. They coach hockey. Super people, super enthusiastic. And then going back to shooting, you got to hear about the shooting. Right. You had all the guys over there. They had a crazy quail. You know, you see the wreck turntables. They got 4 on a trailer, and they're coming out all directions. And the Benetti came out with a gun. It holds 26 shots.
That's the one I need.
I got to
for that
shoot
turkey.
it. I got to shoot it. We had people shooting it, and all them guys were going crazy. And one reason that how they determine a winner between the fishing, you get so many points when you shoot skeet, if you're part of that. And that's for the sponsors and them. The sponsors are all on the team with the former athlete or the former Saints player. And then you get so many points of fish you caught. And that's how they won. And people were so appreciative to Tommy and them that all the prizes they got, they gave them. They shared all their prizes with it. In fact, the general, Tommy lost one of his good rods. He got kicked off trying to help everybody. He said, you know, I got these custom-made rods. People make them for me all the time. He said, give me your address. I'm going to send you some. So, Tommy, not only you're a good fisherman, you're a lucky individual, and so are you, Jason Lemoyne. So let's just go there and see some of the stuff we did. I enjoyed listening to the interviews. You had, what was the coach you had the interview
Carl
with?
Mark, another character. You know, they got so many characters on the team. Joel Hilgenberg, a former player, rode his motorcycle all the way down from Oklahoma to Grand Isle to fish, and Rich Marty was there. And what a great event it is.
Steve Court, another.
Steve Bumgartner, Bobby Abad, a Cajun Cannon was down there. Great time.
You know, Bobby was going back and forth. He was giving people. He had his wife. My wife, give him a call. I want to come back. But he, you know how he talks the same way he does on the radio. He was going back and forth and talking to everybody. And he said, "Yeah, I want to be on the show with you and Don." And he said, "Talk to my wife. She's gonna give you a call." So I said, "Well, why you ain't gonna be here tomorrow fishing?" He said, "He had the Saints rookie camp, so he had to cover." So you know what else I got to tell you? We got skeet shoot. We got the award ceremony of getting the things, and we got Jason on board. I'm talking about Jason Lemoyne on board with Tommy Vidrine, and this is how the winners did it. So we go to black and gold, and if some things we had to cut out, I'm telling you what, there was a lot of footage we had for 4 days, and a lot of things happened. And I don't, you know me, I can't pass up the food. Joe LaBella, 53-foot long, 18-wheeler, pulled 18-wheeler kitchen. They had things you would think you would get out of a restaurant out in New Orleans. He got a catering service, and he invited us to lunch. You've been there. You know, that's right there by the airport. So here we are. This is what we're doing. So,
all right,
Joe LaBella, thank you again, and thank you, Stan Brock, for what a great job you do in letting the public join in, too.
Good morning. Welcome to Grand Isle, Louisiana, and the 4th annual Black and Gold Classic. Weather's perfect. We're going to do some shooting, a little bit of fishing, and we're going to have a great time.
Yeah. What are we cooking here this morning? 3 odds and grits. 3 odds and grits.
I'm Hokey Gajans with the New Orleans Saints from 1981 to 1987, and we are ready for the Black and Gold Classic.
My name is John Stinchcomb. I played with the New Orleans Saints from 2003 to 2011. I'm Chuck Comiskey, played with the Saints 86, 87, 88.
John Sawyer, Seattle Seahawk, Denver Bronco, Houston Oilers, 75 to 86. Live in Zachary, Louisiana.
Hey, I'm Steve Court. I was the New Orleans Saints from 1983 to 1991.
All right, Elo Grooms, New Orleans Saints, St. Louis Cardinals, Philadelphia Eagles, 1975 to 87.
All right, Rich Marty, 1977, 1983, graduate from Penn State, played 7 years with the Saints, and then got to go to the Redskins in 1984, played with the great Joe Gibbs and Theismann and that whole crew. And as much as I hate to say this, we probably won more games in 1 year with the Redskins than I did the previous 7 with the Saints, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. This event here is just awesome. Stan Brock does a fabulous job with his family and just bringing us, in that era, our group back here with Elo Grooms and Derlin Moore and those guys and Stan Brock and getting together is priceless. So we want to thank you publicly, Stan, for putting this together. Appreciate it.
Here's what we have.
It's going to be real low. It's hard to see it.
Shane Graham. I'm from Virginia. Live in Houston, Texas, but play for the Saints now.
You're supposed to quit when you hit them 2 in a row.
Y'all see that?
The son of Joe Martin, he's 6 years old, goes to Grand Coteau, and getting ready to shoot.
Keep looking. Oh, almost. Hey. Oh, you're close.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Good God, man.
Woo!
I'm Tim Bradley with Benelli USA, and we're about to do an exhibition here for you guys. It's going to be fun, so stick around and watch.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. I'm Benelli's exhibition shooter, Tim Bradley. And that was a half a box of Federal Gold Medal target load. And now that I have your attention, we're going to have some fun for about the next 30 or 40 minutes. Hopefully during this time, I can show you a few things about Benelli shotguns you don't already know. Like for instance, did you know that you can shoot a Benelli with it upside down over your head? You can shoot a Benelli from the hip. You can even shoot Benelli upside down from the hip. And if you take your time and practice a little bit, you can even do a combination of those shots. I'm going to throw two targets. I'm going to shoot the first from the hip, raise the gun upside down over my head, and shoot the second. Like that. Thank you.
Crazy Quail, we're crazyquail.com. We invented this machine about a year ago, January 2013. What the machine does is kind of gives you the best simulation you possibly can to live birds out there in a small space. So if you look what we've got here, we're on the beach here in Grand Isle, Louisiana. We've got shooters all over the place. We're using a small footprint of property, and we are throwing clays like you couldn't imagine.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana, and
keep on casting.
We build tires, but not tires like anybody else. We build Cooper tires for people, not just cars. People who are chauffeurs and shuttle pilots, heavy haulers and heavy hitters. More than what your Cooper tires can do, it's about what you can do with your Cooper tires. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
Thanks, Louisiana. Now that you have Blue Cross coverage, be sure to get the most out of your benefits.
I'm covered.
Covered.
I'm covered.
Go to bcbsla.com and get the most out of your Blue Cross coverage.
When you're ready to really enjoy life at a slower pace, become a landowner. First South Farm Credit specializes in financing and refinancing land, but not just for farmers. They offer loans to purchase timberland, hunting and fishing, or recreational property. Their experience in land, timber, and loans set them apart from standard lending institutions. Contact a First South Farm Credit loan officer for more information. First South Farm Credit, a specialized rural land investment lender helping you realize your dream.
Start. Gary, get started.
Criticized dynamite, huh?
Look at that, Gary. Don't get better than that. Right there.
That's a winner right there. He's going to be on my hook. If we don't get a mackerel with that, the mackerel will tear it up, yes. Hang on, right now I'm gonna throw a live shrimp out there and see if they're here. And if they're not, we're gonna head west because it looks kind of dirty.
Yeah.
Hand me that middle rod right there. We're gonna make a run there, ready? Yep, just throw towards those rocks right there. That wind has messed us up. Boy, yesterday was so beautiful right here.
You need to get up on the rock? Or just
No, just on the edge of them.
Oh my God! Already? I can't believe it.
Good trout. We'll take him. We're going to eat him.
Get it.
Oh, sorry about that. You really? He ain't that big. He's big, though. Yeah.
Oh, wow!
There you go.
Get him off there, William.
Hey!
Good job. Oh, get the hell in. Grab it, William.
Okay.
Flip him this way. There you go.
You're on fire. We need some big girls though, you know? We need to find some big girls like I had yesterday.
I can't imagine getting a big one off.
Look at your what? So I'm coming back. No big ones.
Doing any of the work.
No big ones yet, huh? No big ones yet, Jan, but they good eating size.
Well, they popped the heck out of that croaker right there. He's taking the line and going the other way.
Because they got big bones to eat and stuff, too.
Wow! We're gonna put him in there just because we might have something to win, you know.
Oh my goodness!
'Cause they got a redfish division. He ain't gonna probably win because those guys are going for full reds. But
I almost forgot how to do it. I've been working on my house for a year. Haven't been able to get out, so this is...
yeah, you think you can net it?
He's just playing.
Every time he sees that boat, he takes off.
There he is.
Oh, yeah.
And in the one, bud.
Oh, you almost got me, Will. He's got a mark on him, though, huh? Good solid stuff.
Where'd he go? Oh, good. Nice little redfish.
There you go.
I ain't never had a general on my boat, but we got one today. Paradise, Louisiana. Keep watching. Reel down, lift up. There you go. Reel down, lift up. Oh, big trout, big trout. Woo! Reel. Look at that. There you go.
Clay Brooks, this is my son William. We're from New Orleans down here fishing the black and gold tournament and fishing with Paradise, Louisiana, catching a lot of fish.
Hey, this is Rusty and Jan Frutiger. We're from Manassas, Virginia. I'm a retired general and Jan's still a federal employee. We came down to participate in the Black and Gold Classic with S.T.A.R. Rock. Really enjoyed it. We had Tommy B as the captain today. He's been doing great.
Did you catch any fish?
The box is full.
Bunch.
Bunches.
That ain't bad. Not as good as yesterday, but it ain't bad. Good job there, General. You got this stuff together, boy. You look like a pro now. Paradise, Louisiana. That's what Tommy V does out here in Grand Isle, Louisiana.
We build tires, but not tires like anybody else. We build Cooper tires for people, not just cars. People who are chauffeurs and shuttle pilots, heavy haulers and heavy hitters. More than what your Cooper tires can do, it's about what you can do with your Cooper tires. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
These engines run for thousands of hours to prove. We did. With 20% more cleaning agents than before, Shell nitrogen-enriched gasoline.
No, the gasoline protects your engine better!
Awkward. Try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines.
No other gasoline protects your engine better.
Visit Cracker Barrel convenience stores before heading fishing or hunting. We have more than you expect.
Come to the family-owned and operated Cassius Casino in Port Allen today, where the Vegas-style video poker machines are ready for your entertainment. Cassius Casino is the finest, cleanest, classiest casino around. And Cassius 50-style diner is now serving seafood daily, along with your favorite home-cooked specials 24/7. Hey, Cassius is fun. Cassius is exciting. So come to the unsinkable Cassius Casino in Port Allen. Over the river 2 miles west of exit 151.
Welcome to the Berkeley Abu Garcia Fishing Report. And Gary, before we get into the fishing for people this weekend coming up, let's go back a little bit. Bass fishing. We had the Elite Master Tournament, Bassmaster Elite at Lake Dardanelle in Arkansas. Jason Christie was the #1 finisher. How did our Louisiana guys do?
Well, you know, Jason Christie won it. Here at Hackney led for 2 days. Going in the final, he was the leader. I heard he lost by about 4 ounces. They checked him around. I think Swindler might have barely beat him out by an ounce or 2 for second. But he come in third. But more importantly, he moved him in second place in the Angler of the Year standings. And local Cliff Crochet, he come out 7th. And more important than that, too, getting ready for the Bassmaster Classic for next year, the lineup. He's in 18th place of Angler of the Year. Moving into the northern part of the country, so we got to see him. We got to thank Gary Krause. Gary Krause stays on all this, and thank you, Gary, for keeping us abreast, because he follows them close. He emails them, talks to them, and everything. While we're talking about bass tournaments, they're junior Bassmasters. Now, we're talking about Bassmasters right now. They had a great, successful tournament last week. It was the Crown State Champion. The 2 boys that are going to the Nationals right now, they're doing a little thing on their website. They're trying to raise a little money. How are they going to do that?
Dylan King and Cody Kelly are the 2014 BASS Louisiana High School State Champions. And if you look on the screen, there's some information how you can participate in the tournament. That'll help defray the cost of their trip as they move on. You got some results, too,
that's
from
right.
last
The last
weekend.
tournament right now was out of Adams Landing. First place was Dylan King from Denham Springs with 11.0. That's his 5 bass, and that's the 15 to 18-year age group. The 11 to 14-year age group, the first place was Hanson Cheney from Walker, Louisiana. He had 5 bass limited, 9.23. And in the 7 to 10 age group, the first place was Wyatt Campbell from Baker with one bass of 1 pound 4 ounces. But that's what when you're a winner, you're a winner. The other division, the first place was Scott DeMaio. They spelled it wrong, Don. That ain't my fault. I know DeMaio. Yeah, he's from Denham Springs with 12.53. It was 5 bass.
Well, congratulations to all those youngsters. Speaking about bass fishing, boy, I really enjoyed that fishing trip you had to Delacroix, where you were catching the mixed bass and the redfish. You know, I'm waiting for somebody to pull off a tournament that's going to be a combination tournament where you weigh in your biggest bass and your biggest redfish. That's got to be happening sooner or later.
Business magazine one time wanted to do a competition between Texas and Louisiana. Mm-hmm. Texas got the reservoirs, and also in the South they got redfish. Right. He wanted to put something together with redfish and bass. In other words, these teams would fish bass one day, and the next day they would fish the saltwater in the marsh.
I understand that, but we got that beat. We could fish those species the same place, in the same live well, at the same way. And somebody's going to pick up on that and take it. But let's get back to the bass fishing. Any other areas besides Delacroix that you're hearing good reports?
Iat Lake in Alexandria, Toledo Bend. Gary Krause also told me they finally broke the record this year. I think they end up with 61 fish that made it over 10-pound lunker list. So Toledo Bend is still good. We hear a lot of freshwater fish are being caught. I'm going to come back to freshwater at the end of the thing because there's a lot of catfish and brim. But the sac-a-lait bite is on it down at Toledo Bend. All the sac-a-lait up down the Red River, at all the poo stages right now. I think they got a slight rise coming in the Chaffalay, so they're out. Even down in Venice right now, them people. The hottest place, only place I know down south is the Marsh and By Black, the Lake Verret area, and also Delacroix.
All right. Big news, saltwater fishing, speckled trout. What we've been waiting for, and everybody's been waiting for after this long, cold winter and spring, was for that light switch to go on. It went on last week. The shrimp showed up. There's live bait now at most of the marinas. And as you saw in the black and gold and what's going to happen this weekend with the speckled trout rodeo, there's limits of speckled trout coming in from the Grand Isle, the Fouchon area, Lake Pontchartrain. Until that little late front came and blew things up, there was some phenomenal catches around the trestle bridges, I-10 bridge. The causeways producing fish. The reefs are producing speckled trout. I got reports from down in Plaquemine Parish, that area of Breton Sound between Plaquemine's east bank of the Mississippi River and over towards Delacroix. All of that is on right now, too. So speckled trout,
I heard
it's
you on
here.
the radio with Ron Lambert. He was real optimistic. You with Jack Payne is definitely the same thing. They told us when we were down at Bass Fish, them trout going to turn on any day, so I'm pretty sure they turn it on. The only place we're not hearing from is Big Lake. I'm not hearing anything from Big Lake. I talked to Captain Steve Smith, and they running to Sabine. That's the only place they catch, and some of the captains and some of the people are fishing. I haven't heard nothing from Big Lake. So all y'all captains down there at Big Lake, start sending me reports, give me a call, invite me down there to fish. Because, man, I'll tell you what, Tommy Vitrian got me hot right now. He's catching them on the rocks. And he told me the rocks, I told a couple of people, in fact, Lynn Rollins' brother was fishing the Caminado rocks, and he came down to fish the black and gold and fished some other tournaments, and they just fine fish. And Brett was catching fish, and I told him, I said, we leaving Caminado, we headed down, west to Fouchon rocks. I thought he was talking about the past one. When I got there, Tommy's calling the rocks the ones on top of the barges. So if you hear me say they catch them on the rocks, I'm not talking about the rocks at the jetties or coming out by Lafourche. I'm talking about the rocks that they put on top of the barges in that way. East, 4-mile pass, back of the island, going all the way to Barataria. I got people talking. I talked to Tom Wellman's son the other day. They had 75 trout early, live shrimp, bridgeside, dynamite. Yep. You get them croakers. That's time of the year. I think it's a little early for them. You're talking about being late. Yes. But I caught the bigger trout the other day on live croaker.
And of course, redfish everywhere, been the usual. What are you hearing on offshore fishing?
Offshore fishing, I was out there at the cleaning station, right there at Bridgeside. The boats were coming in. We had a bunch of young guys over there. Mr. Kurtoff and them would come in. They had a bunch of blackfin tuna. And they see no yellowfin, but amberjack. And they had amberjack doing it. My brother Eddie heard about amberjack. They're staying away from the snapper, but they're catching grouper and, like I said, tuna. They're catching them. They wasn't that far off. It was in there close. So that's it.
You got a lot of options. That's a lot. We also got an on-camera fishing report to go out on, too.
Dirk was filming with P-Maw. Y'all seen him on the Animal Planet and all the things they were doing on pilot. And Dirk, being forever faithful to Paradise, Louisiana, he said, P-Maw, I want a fishing report from Lake Verret. Had to hold him down to keep it to 2 minutes. But this is P-Maw telling you about brim, sac-a-lait, catfish, Lake Verret.
Hey, we're down here in Pierpont, Louisiana, down here by beautiful Lake Verret, I guarantee you. I'm standing right out here in front of Peemaw Bajac. I'm Peemaw. I just want to tell y'all a little bit what's going on down here with the fishing right now. I tell you right now, the fish are biting, I guarantee you. Been having a lot of rain down here, but it got the brim kind of slowed down, but the catfish are biting. There's people coming in the bait shop. We open 24-hour days, 7 days a week here at Peemaw. They coming in, getting their bait. They stopping back out, ice chest load of catfish. They're catching them on shiners. Can you believe that? They're catching catfish on shiners right now and night crawlers and cut bait. We got it all right here at Peemaw. Like I said, what they're doing, they're putting in here the Shell Beach Landing, going across to the Crackerhead, getting in them dead end locations where that grass is coming up out of the woods, and they're fishing the backside of that grass, and they're bringing out some pretty nice brim too, you know. And then, like I said, you go down to the Michelle down there. Like I said, anytime you got like the little channels coming out of the main bayou right there, that's where they tight line catching big catfish right now. I think a guy caught the other day, caught one that was 50 pounds, 45 pounds on a rod and reel. They're using cut shad, I guarantee you. Like I said, anytime you got like cypress knees and old roots and stuff, they tell me they just dropping a line. The water down here ain't but about 4 or 5 foot deep around the trees. Most of it 3 foot, and they fishing about 2 foot deep. They're using night crawler, shiner, and cut bait. Like I said, if you want to catch a fast, throw you some night crawler. But if you want to catch a big one, use cut bait, I guarantee you. Yeah, we definitely got unusual hours. 24-hour days, 7 days a week. Like I said, I tell you what, the reason I done that is because one thing about it, some people like to fish 3 o'clock in the morning. Believe it or not, they do come in here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 o'clock in the morning to get their bait. So that's why we open 24-hour days, 7 days a week. This area is definitely growing. Like I said, it's got a lot of stuff. A lot of people are interested in Louisiana, and you know, they want to come down to Louisiana. They're seeing all these good reality shows on there. They got Swamp People and all that, and everybody's wanting to come down and see what it's all about. When they come down, this is what they tell me. I'm coming back. I love it down here. I love the people. I love the area. Matt, bring here. I'll eat it.
No.
Bring it. I'll eat it.
Okay, eat it.
Go ahead.
Put it in your mouth.
Bring it. Bring it to Papa. Bring it.
Don't swallow it.
What was that? I got something on my lips. What?
You better, it's gonna go up your nose.
I'm Peemaw, and you're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Paradise, Louisiana, with Gary Risponi and Don Dubuc. Paradise, Louisiana would also like to thank these sponsors.
Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, Cracker Barrel Convenience Stores. We have more than you expect. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana, Farm Bureau Insurance, Louisiana Fish Fry Product, Demco, First South Farm Credit, Area Wholesale Tire Company, for tire programs for tire dealers.